Welcome to An Awful World, but not awful like you think.
This is the show where we discuss whether we would have discovered important advances in a world exclusively full of Haylies and Libbys. I'm Haylie.
And I'm Libby. And today, we're talking about mail. Here's the mail. Never feels it make me wanna when it comes, I wanna yell mail. Blue's Clues.
That's right.
You've got mail. That's AOL. Anyway.
And a movie.
It's true. A really good movie. Ugh. Anyway. Nora Ephron, right? Isn't it one of... Anyway. I get so easily distracted. Okay. Now. Sorry. You just got so... I got very serious. Like, I think my face got very serious. And then Haylie was looking at me like bewildered. Like I had... Like, focus up. And it's me just messing around. So with most things that we talk about on this podcast, I'm always like, it's so old. And it makes sense that it's so old. Mail is really old.
Yes.
How? Why? What? Huh?
I mean, you got to pass notes.
I mean, yes, but like having like, you know, kind of sophisticated systems as long ago as we did.
Yeah.
It's impressive.
It is.
You got to hand it to humans.
Yeah.
You gotta. So, we're not exactly sure how old it is, but
it's old.
It's old. At least since 2400 BCE, we have the first postal document ever.
With our favorite people ever.
Yeah, the Egyptians. Why? Because the pharaohs would issue decrees, and that is how they would get them out via the mail.
Hear ye, hear ye.
My name is Samuel Seabury. I present thoughts on the proceedings of the Continental Congress. Lin-Manuel, call me. I have so much talent, I swear. No, I'm kidding. So they would issue decrees. Do you think they called it like Sphinx mail instead of like snail mail?
God, I hope so.
Oh, that's funny. Anyway, so by like 550 BCE, so, you know, 2,000 years later, the Persian Empire creates sort of like the first like courier service situation, which is like early beginnings of mail as well. Similar idea. It's just like more of like on a like one person basis, like not one per like there's one courier in all of Persia. No, it's just like this person's a courier and you're like, hey, I need you to deliver this letter to this person. And then they go, and it's not like obviously like mail like we have today where it's like everybody put your letters in here and we'll make sure the other Persians get them. Not quite how it worked. So it was more of a courier service. And they had like stations kind of like all over Persia, like along the royal road, I guess, where the king, Cyrus the Great, I think, lived. In China, they had a postal system under the Han Dynasty, which was the imperial courier service.
And they had like a post house.
Oh, they did? Tell me about this.
Well, they just had, all I read was that they had a post house like relay system. So.
Oh, interesting. Okay. And then in Rome, they had a state-run courier. So like the, you know, Roman Empire was like actually in charge of it. So what you'll notice about early mail is a lot of like state-sanctioned like governmental entities being the ones that are doing the mail. It's not just like you and Joe Schmo like exchanging letters, love letters, or passing notes or whatever.
Right.
It's more of like...
More like the government passing notes.
Exactly. Just like, did you see what she did today? Oh my God.
Always the mean girl.
I know. I know. So, medieval times kind of starts to shift a little bit. Not a lot of it, though.
Okay.
It's like still pretty much reserved for royalty and like clergy members and like wealthy people.
Yeah, it's like always the rich.
I know, always. And merchants, because obviously it's important for them to be able to communicate like imports and exports and whatever.
Yeah.
So there were like royal courier services, just like there had been. There was also a monastic courier service or mail system that was run by a bunch of monks. And then merchants had private courier services for them to be able to communicate amongst themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So between the 1500s and the 1700s, we get royal posts, which establish national postal services in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
And they were mostly used, again, not for fun purposes, but for espionage or to control people. Which I know you're shocked to hear that the government would ever commit espionage or try to kill people. I mean, control, kill, whatever. It's the same thing, right?
Yeah.
So then 1800s is when it actually becomes like much more standardized. Like we get stamps. Like that's the first time that we're seeing stamps. And like, you know,
there's a British system.
Yes. And it's because it's a universal payment, right?
Yes.
Like that's the first time that's ever happened.
Yes.
Where it's like this stamp cost whatever. Now it's an obscene amount of money for a stamp.
Ridiculous. But then I also kind of think about it and I'm like, eggs cost $7 and it costs me like 55 cents for a stamp and I can send this like all the way to the other side of the country if I want for 55 cents. Like that's fine. I guess.
It just like sucks when you have to do it like for wedding invitations and you have to buy 200 of them.
100%.
Like, you know.
Like when I was engaged, my aunt, being the gem of a human being she is, she was like, I got you a gift. It's 100 stamps.
Ugh.
And I was like,
what a great
love you
gift.
So much.
Yes.
And she like loves to watch the news. And so she would call me and be like, Haylie, stamp prices are going up. You need to get them this week before they go up.
Yes. Because you can,
like, I'm on it.
They're forever stamps.
Yes.
You know, they never expire.
Yes.
So it's like, you might as well.
And so she was like, they're going up like 7 cents. You need to go get them and you need to get them now. Like that's going to save you money. And I was like, hell yeah.
Great.
Off I go. Like, but it was wonderful.
Yeah, I'll bet. It's very expensive. It was obviously a lot cheaper then, but you know, inflation. So also like postage becomes much more popular because we start having like industrialization. So it's like we have trains, we have steamships, so we're able to get like things farther, faster, that sort of thing. And then in the 20th century, we get airmail because now we have airplanes, and apparently like World War II played a huge role in like having international mail exchange because people wanted to be able to write their loved ones that were in the armed forces.
And see, war is a bad thing, but it always brings about
some sort of change.
Yes.
The war, what is it good for? A few things.
Kind of invention.
But
like, it does really.
Because, you know, hard times create.
Hard times.
Yeah. See our music episode for more information. Okay, this blew my mind. Postal codes were not invented or developed until 1963. What?
Now, so I got my Irish citizenship last year, right? Now, Ireland does not do postal codes.
Oh, God.
So that's still like, it's still not a universal thing.
That's crazy.
I know. But what was so funny is I kept having to like send in more documentation.
Yeah.
And like 3 times I kept going to the exact same post office and I got the exact same woman every single time. And every single time I didn't have a postcode for Ireland. And she would be like, you have to put the postcode.
No,
and
there is no postcode.
There is no postcode. And we would go back and forth.
Round and round and round.
And we did this every single time. And it was the 3rd time that she was like, haven't we done this before? And I was like, yes.
Yes. And I told you. Yes.
So it's still not a thing
everywhere, which is crazy to me.
I know.
But also I'm like, that's such a sophisticated system. Like, don't you ever wonder how that's like really works when it comes down to it? Like there are millions of pieces of mail delivered across the world every day.
Yes.
How do we do that?
I don't know. Like, but I mean, I also think that like Ireland is the size of Indiana.
Yeah. So it's easy for them to
they probably don't. They're like, we're going to find it.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I don't feel confident about that. Yeah.
I mean, I don't either. But like
if someone was like, and this will be, you know.
But you would be like, oh, but it goes to this county, send it to that county.
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
County would be like, oh, it goes to this city.
This place,
And they're just going to keep moving it along, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Well, then in the 90s, email is invented. And this like really crashes the mail system. No longer people writing letters because they can just like instantly email somebody and exchange things back and forth as much as they want. And like, it doesn't take that much time to type it up. So they say a lot of stupid shit.
And it's free.
Yeah, it's free. So that really hurt the mail system. But then the internet also came with like the age of like shipping.
Yes.
Everything.
Online shopping.
Amazon could have you something between, 5 and 8 p.m. today if you wanted.
But with that, it is still against the like post office because they're using their own delivery systems. They're using private companies. Like Amazon does their own shipping, or a lot of people use UPS or FedEx here in the States, at least, instead of the post office.
Yes, which UPS and FedEx and DHL were kind of the first ones to do like express like shipping, international shipping. That really like wasn't a thing before. And I think that was like the 70s when they started doing that. But I just can't imagine like within our grandparents' lifetime, we come up with like postal codes and now it's like, obviously like our grandparents, they had like Sears catalogs that they would order things out of. But it's like, you would get it. You'd flip through the catalog. You pick what you want. You fill out the order form. You send it back. Like it takes all this time. And now, by the same token, you can get online, type in something that you want,
and have it tomorrow.
Yeah.
And you know what's so funny though is like back then when you had like catalogs and stuff, you would have to like send a physical check.
Yes.
In the mail with all your information in the mail.
Like you better hope that gets to the right place.
Yes. And so you would send that off, and I'm talking like months later this stuff would come in the mail.
Yes, this was not a quick process.
How do you remember what you ordered? And, how do you prepare for like you're going to have to buy season stuff months in advance,
right?
Things like that. And I just think about how funny it is today. People buy so much stuff through Amazon and online shopping and stuff that by the time stuff gets here, they're like, I don't even know what's in this box. And I'm like, you bought it 2 days ago. What do you mean you don't know what's in there?
Or like we have subscriptions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I have like a subscription for cat litter. And so sometimes a box shows up on the door and I'm like, I don't know what that is. And I open it and I'm like, oh, it's cat litter. Great.
Yeah.
Like, it's amazing. It's such an amazing thing. But at the same time, it is so mind boggling to me that like we live in a world where everything is like almost instant gratification, even with that.
Yeah.
Because I can remember like being young, being a kid, especially going to like Taylor Swift concerts or to, I don't know, homecoming or whatever. It's like, oh, I want something that looks like, what this girl wears in this movie. And it's like, well, your options are limited to like what you can find at Von Mar.
Right. Yeah. Like what's at the mall.
There was no like getting online and finding exactly what you wanted.
Right.
Or like, I don't know. I kind of feel sorry for kids because there was a lot of fun in some of that crafting of like, ooh, let's go to Hobby Lobby and like look at all the fabrics and like, pick out what we want, what we need, and see it all in person. And now it's just like, well, I could just get online and order it, and then, like takes a little bit of the fun out of it.
Yeah, like we used to like tie-dye stuff.
Absolutely.
Or like take bleach pens to our jeans, or scissors to whatever, and
make
so
bracelets
and all sorts of stuff. But I also think that it's just kind of like you have so many more options. And it's just so funny because like when I was going to prom in high school, I remember finding a dress online that I really wanted and asking my mom if we could order it. And she was like, no, I don't know this company.
Right.
And things like that. And eventually like we did find a company and I was able to order a dress online and it was no big deal.
Yeah.
But like now people are just putting in their credit card on any little site. And it's just like kind of weird, but you have so many more options that you kind of can just do that and then just be like, oh, that was fraud.
Right. Yeah. It's like a lot easier. I feel like I can distinctly remember like the first time where I started ordering things from Amazon because it was like my freshman year of college.
Yeah, it was definitely college when I even heard about Amazon.
Yes. And just being like, oh, this is really weird. Like I am just going to give this money to them and they're going to send this to me. And you're right. Now we don't question that at all.
Yeah.
We're just like, yeah, it'll be here. And I hate it so much. I love it, but I hate it. It has made me so impatient with shipping. Like if I can't get it in 2 days, I'm like, what are we doing, guys? And that's so insane. Like, it doesn't work like, not everything works like that.
Which is so funny because like, we never use Amazon.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had Prime in the past, and then I'm always like, it's not free shipping because I paid for the subscription.
Right.
And so I get that it's like 2 days and whatever and blah, blah, blah. But I'm also like, I don't need it in 2 days.
Yeah.
If I need it in 2 days, I will go to a store.
Yeah, but it's like, it's undone that in me a little bit.
See, it has not undone that to me. I am like, I'm not paying a subscription to get free shipping when it is not free because I paid the subscription and I'm only going to use it once this month.
Well, yeah, and if you're not going to use it, then it's not worth it.
But I'm like, why am I buying all this stuff? It's the same thing with like DoorDash. I'm like, I'll just get in the car. McDonald's is like 2 minutes down the road.
I'm a victim of all of that. I'm just like,
fries would be fresher if I get in my own car.
I want it brought here to me.
And by get in my own car, I mean make my husband get in my car because that is what a husband is for.
To drive you around to McDonald's.
That's right. Or to just go get it while I sit in my jammies. And I'm
you
not
have to
putting
go get
clothes on. Sorry.
But like that's such a recent thing. Like that's in the last decade.
Yes.
Because I remember food delivery too. When you were in college and I was in college, there were 2 things you could have delivered to you. Pizza or Jimmy John's.
Yes.
Those were your options.
Yes.
Otherwise, you're going to have to go get it.
Yep.
But I distinctly remember probably my junior or senior year of college, there was a local place here in Indianapolis that was like a local DoorDash. It still exists, called Total Takeout. But they had, only like 5 different restaurants to choose from.
Fort Wayne had that, and it was called Waiter on the Way.
And I just think about how that was such a foreign concept. Like, I honestly kind of feel sorry for people that like didn't get to experience before.
Yeah.
Like, you just pizza or Jimmy John's. Yeah. Those are your options. Yeah. If you want McDonald's, you're going to have to get your ass in the car and go.
Exactly. You got to go get it.
Yeah.
Everyone has to. And you're always so hungover, and you're like, I just wish that McDonald's could come to me.
Yes. Is there a way the Taco Bell can be waiting at the doorstep when I get downstairs?
Yes.
And there it is.
Yes.
In this day and age. But anyway, let's get back to mail.
Anyways, back to mail. I love mail. I love to send cards.
Me too.
I want to send fun packages.
I love getting fun mail. I love sending fun mail.
I love to send
nobody does it anymore.
I know. I have like a box full of cards, and I just like, some of them are for nothing. They're just like, love you, miss you.
Yeah. Hi. Love you, miss you. Pow. Night, Stanley. Love you. Yeah. No, I love that kind of stuff. It's so fun.
I have cards that are like, glad we got brunch together.
Oh my God, that's so cute. I love that.
Like, it's just, I like fun stuff like that.
Yeah, it's fun to just send people. Oh, I love to send people like a thank you note or
like a congrats on your new house.
Yeah, or whatever it is. It's so fun. I love it.
And every time Ty gets the mail, I'm like, anything fun? And he's like,
no, it's bills.
Yeah, it's like bills or
credit card offers.
Spam. Yeah. Like it's like coupons and credit card offers.
Yeah, and
like,
like,
crap like that. I'm like, I don't need any of this.
I've already told you 15 times. I don't want this.
Yes. Or it's like some Republican being like, vote for me. And I'm like, no, fuck you.
Actually, no. Not going to be
trash. Don't even touch my mailbox.
That.
Sicko.
But like, also, do you think about how much like money goes into printing all of that shit?
Yes, and then I'm like, save your money because it's going
like,
right
why
into
are
the
you
garbage.
If you want to like get a message,
opt out, unsubscribe.
Yeah, please stop sending this shit to me. I don't want it.
Yes, and I'm like, who is doing this?
Yeah,
who prints this?
I don't like that at all.
Why do I get those coupons that are for like companies that I've never heard of? And then I get online because it'll be like, get this like duct cleaning for your HVAC. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I get online and it's like, this place is a scam.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, then why are they sending me coupons?
Yes. Why are they advertising to me? I don't understand what's happening.
Yes. Who let this be put in my mailbox because it feels like fraud?
It was the federal government.
I know.
So, mail.
Would we have it?
Oh, absolutely.
100%.
I think so. It's not going to be sophisticated like it has become in the world now.
I genuinely don't think that like the first people who would use it in an awful world would be the government.
No, I don't think so either because I enjoy much more of the fun stuff as we've just discussed.
Yes.
Obviously, there will be a need for the government to be able to participate in that.
Yeah.
Right.
But I don't think that we would be like, hey, this is only for the government and rich people.
Right.
I think it would be a lot of like, hey, now that we have like moved around and like discovered new territory and blah, 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 like I'm going to go visit somebody who moved out there.
Yeah.
And everybody in town would be like, can we send them stuff?
Yeah.
Can I give you stuff to take to them?
And you take, like, yes. Yeah. And then we just make that a whole system.
Yes. And it would just be like fun stuff. We would be like, here are some of your favorite snacks from home. Here is a letter about like what your family and friends are doing. Here is like some of your stuff that we want out of our house, you know, that kind of stuff. And then I feel like our government would be like, we could do this too.
Totally. Absolutely. I think it's going to be a lot of postcards.
Yeah.
I remember being in the 9th grade, being so madly in love with this boy who was really just my friend. He liked me. It's fine.
Casual.
It never happened, but it's fine.
Humble brag.
Yeah, humble brag. So, and now I'm marrying a different boy from high school. Anyway, he like went to Florida on summer vacation and he sent me a postcard. And I remember being like, this is the most amazing romantic gesture that has ever happened to anyone ever. And honestly, I think it's because, like I said, when you email, there's like so much space, endless space. You want to type 10,000 characters, type 10,000 characters. But it's like when you do postcards or like little notes or letters or whatever, you have a limited amount of space to say what you want to say.
Exactly.
And so it's important that you kind of just like cut to the chase. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So like I think some of it's interesting. Like if you read old letters, it may seem like kind of curt, but it's just because like, well, I got shit to say and I don't have a ton of real estate to do it in.
Right.
So
and I'm like, I have to keep some of this paper to write you later.
Exactly.
Like, I have one sheet.
Exactly.
Yes.
But yeah, I think we'd have it. I think it would be much more fun. I don't know about like shipping and delivering of things.
I also don't know about shipping. I think that we would, but we would be like, you have to pay more because this is heavy and it's taking up a lot of space.
Oh, yeah.
And like we only have wagons. So
it is what it is. I don't want to lug all this stuff around.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't foresee it being like as on demand either as it is today.
No.
Because I just don't think that that's like our shtick.
No, I don't either. But I definitely think greeting cards would be
absolutely
a thing.
Now, do you think it would be something necessarily that's like created or like something that's like managed by the government at some point? Like our USPS USPS is now?
Yeah, I kind of think so because I think eventually, like, I mean, people are gonna have to pay for these services, and like, if you think about it, I'm sure there's a lot of people who are trying to like steal mail and things like that. So because people put money in the mail, people, people don't want a letter to get out, or, something like that. So I feel like we would be like, hey, you can't really do that. And I don't know that it would exactly be a state or if it would just be like a company.
I just want to sign that says, hey, you can't really do that. It's so polite. Just like, hey,
you can't really steal the mail.
You can't really be doing that.
That birthday card is for some grandchild. You can't really be doing that.
You can't. Mail theft. You can't really be doing that. Not like, no, mail theft.
In the United States, it's like a federal crime. And in an awful world, hey, you can't really be doing that.
We're going to let it slide this time, but...
You get one.
Yeah. If Cynthia's granddaughter doesn't get her $20 for her birthday... there's going to be hell to pay.
Exactly.
Oh, that's funny.
So I don't know if it would be the government, but there would have to be like a company who is in charge.
Who's like, in charge of all of these things.
Yeah. But I think it is funny because like even today it's run by the government, and I think it's because it's like subsidized by the government.
Yes.
But which is great because we need that.
Yeah.
But I think it's funny that it's like even now this is still used for like
so many things.
But it's still used by the government and like the heads of state and the wealthy, and they're using all of that. I mean, they're obviously using like email and like much more whatever, but like they are still running our actual mail.
Yes.
Well, and started here in the States by Ben Franklin.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He was the first postmaster general.
Oh, well, good for him.
I know.
Wow.
He was doing a lot, almost too much.
Yeah.
Like,
yes.
Ever heard of a vacation?
God. let's be clear, in an awful world, that like we're going to rely heavily on mail to communicate. And the reason for that is there's no internet. There's never going to be an internet. That's the internet episode. What the internet is. Yeah, that's the internet episode right there. It's not going to happen.
No. Like, I understand that, like, we have internet and how to use it. But like, what is it?
How do we get it?
I don't know.
I don't know how we get water to our houses. These are complicated questions.
Something with fiber?
Oh, you're talking about internet again?
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about water, and I was like, no. It has nothing to do with fiber. No. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't understand how it works. I don't understand how Wi-Fi works. I don't understand any of that. So all that's to say,
pay for the Wi-Fi.
We are going to be very heavily relying on the analog forms of communication.
Yes. I don't feel like in an awful world that there will be porch pirates.
God, no.
Because I feel like
we're not leaving valuable shit on our porches. Porch pirates didn't become a thing until delivering became such a thing.
That's true. But I'm also just kind of like,
don't be an asshole.
Yeah, don't take other people's stuff. I think I would be like, oh, I didn't order this and it doesn't have my name on it.
Right. So I'm going to not,
I'll just put that back. But I do feel like we would maybe have a system that's kind of like, hey, come get your mail.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
The post office. Like, we all have, like, lockers.
Yeah, which in a lot of places, that is how it is.
Yeah, like P.O. boxes.
Right, exactly.
Because then also, I don't have to have a stranger come to my house.
Exactly,
and I don't like a stranger coming to my house.
And they also save a lot of time by just putting it in the box that's right there instead of driving it out to your house. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that idea. Yeah. It's more community-based, too. Like you pop in.
And be like, hey, did you get anything fun in the mail?
It was like in college when you'd go check your mailbox.
Yes.
That was so fun. You have a little key.
I never got mail.
What?
I mean, I did, but like twice a year.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, that's same. I didn't get a ton. But like when you'd get a package.
Yeah, and then you have to go to like the front desk.
Yes, and they would like email you and be like, you have a package. Be like, this is so exciting. God. What is it?
Yeah.
Even though like, it's the CD you just ordered on Amazon or whatever.
I would get a Valentine's Day present from my parents though.
Well, that's cute.
Yeah. Ugh. Because it's my favorite holiday, so they would both send me a Valentine's Day gift.
That's really sweet, actually. Yeah. You know how I feel about Valentine's Day.
Normally what I would do is like I would tell one parent that I want something for Valentine's Day, and then I would tell the other parent like, oh, well, Mom
such and such is getting me
something for Valentine's Day, and Dad would be like, what? And then he would also send me something for Valentine's Day.
Playing both sides there.
One time my dad sent me like a whole box full of just like mini paydays.
Oh, yum.
And then it was like a stuffed animal of like an octopus that had like hearts all over it, but it was like that and then just mini paydays. And I'm like, this is the best.
Payday's my favorite candy bar.
It's so good.
But that's neither here nor there.
No. But when you get them in the mail, like,
I know.
Oh my God.
God, what a day, right? Oh, but there is nothing like that feeling of like when you know something's going to be there when you get home. Yeah, it's like Christmas.
I know.
Like, I cannot wait to get home. I can't wait to open it. I can't wait to,
Yes.
So exciting.
Yes.
I do love it.
Also why I'm like very into like sending cards and stuff because
because it's fun.
Yeah, because it is fun because like I said, you come home and you're like, you get anything fun in the mail?
No. Yeah.
So then every once in a while you're like, oh my God, what is this? Who sent me something?
Or when people ask for your address and you're like, ooh.
You're like, why? Oh my God.
They're like, we're going to come throw a Molotov cocktail into your living room. Like, damn, I shouldn't have given it to you.
Right.
I was hoping for fun mail.
One time Ty entered a contest for me at Kate Spade.
Yeah.
Years ago, and I was in class in law school at like a night class, and Ty texted me and was like, there's a package from Kate Spade at the door. And he had forgotten, it was like months prior, that he had entered me into this contest. And I was like, in all caps, texting him. And I was like, I didn't order anything. I swear. It wasn't me. I didn't spend hundreds of dollars. We're planning a wedding and I'm paying for law school. Like, I didn't do it. And then I was like, open it up. What is it? So he sends me a picture and it's a purse that they sent for free. I had won the contest. And like a little note saying that I had won. And he was like, oh my God, I forgot.
That's hysterical.
But it was just me being like, I didn't do it. I swear.
I didn't do anything wrong.
I was like, don't yell at me. I didn't order a $300 purse.
That's why you have to hide the packages.
But I didn't know it was coming. So how could I hide it?
No, you couldn't. You couldn't. But like, remember last year when we went to Candle Day at Bath and Body Works? I came home and I immediately hid all of that shit.
Yes.
Hid the candles. Hid the evidence that I was ever in a Bath and Body Works.
And then you just like slowly move them out. And you're like, we've had these forever. What are you talking about?
They've been back here.
They've been back here for months.
Yeah, but then when I want more, I'm like, we're all out of candles. We have like 45. And he's like, I think that we have plenty of candles. I'm like, well, I think that I didn't ask for your opinion.
See, I went through a phase of like burning through all my candles because I was like, there's too many, it's overflowing. And then all of a sudden I went to grab one and I was like, all that's left are Christmas candles. And it's like May.
Scary.
Yeah. And
that's a scary moment.
So then we had to I bought like $100 worth of candles, but I got like 4.
Yeah. Well,
this is insane.
We know I have candle insecurity, so we don't need to rehash that.
Yeah.
So
you would order them through the mail.
You could order them through the mail and
not in the
still
summer,
destroy the evidence. Yeah, you don't want to do that in the summer. They will melt.
Yeah.
And that's not fun.
Not.
So, you have anything else to say about mail?
No, just that I love it, and I think we would have it.
Me too, yeah. Send us some mail. Yeah. No, I'm kidding. You don't have to send us mail.
Send us some email.
But you know what?
Patreon.
We could send you mail.
That's true.
How? Well, I'll tell you. If you go to patreon.com/anawfulworldpodcast and subscribe to one of our 3 tiers, maybe you'll get a little something in the mail. The snail mail, the Sphinx mail from us.
Yes.
With some fun stuffs included.
Yes.
So if you're interested in that, you should definitely check that out. And you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcasts. Thanks for listening to us talk about mail. And until next time, we hope your day is simply awful.